there's a thing called parental orientation. Each one of the 9 types has kind of like a attachment, detachment, or kind of ambivalence with the types, with the mothers and fathers. And the protective and nurturing figures here, the nurturing figure can be the father, and the protective figure can be the mother. Okay, it's not necessarily, doesn't have to be gender specific. But you know, generally speaking, the nurturing figure is the mother, and the protective figure is the father. So you know, the one has a frustration with the protective figure, and there's 3 of each one of these types. You know, 2 has a rejection from the protective figure. So maybe the 2 is raised by a father who says, "You're so selfish," or you know, you don't do enough for anybody. You know, so the 1 becomes, or the 2 becomes hyper focused on serving people. Attachment to the nurturing figure. This is a good boy syndrome, a good girl syndrome, where the 3 wants to be as successful. You know, that's kind of like the Drew Barrymore, or not Drew Barrymore. What was her name? She was on the Academy Awards last night. She was hosted one. She was in the Johnny Cash movie.
Oh, the one who won?
No, she played Carter's wife.
Oh, didn't she win Best Actress?
Well, she might have.
I think she did.
Did she? Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I just heard.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, anybody see? Anybody?
Oh, someone said cash one.
Yeah, it was what's her name? His wife. Forget her name.
Did anybody see Election? You see that?
No.
Okay. But she played in that movie, and you know, she had a mother who was constantly, "Oh, you can do more than that. You can do better than that. You can, you know." That kind of that person who drives their child to always do more and become more. Well, she became so fixated in that, and that's what drives that type A personality. You know, if you saw that movie, you'd see what it was all about. It's a good movie to understand the 3 types.
Is that rejection or frustration? Protective figure when your parents is driving you, you do that in
well, it's kind of a awkward term, but what I mean by rejection is that you're never enough. You know, from the father's perspective, you know, you couldn't quite get the father's love, no matter how much you seem to do. That's what creates a kind of 2 type. You know, because you're constantly trying to do and do and do in order to gain back that affection, and it doesn't seem like no matter how much you do, it's never enough. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to convey here. The 3 has, again, the attachment to the nurturing figure, right? I need mommy's approval. So the 2 is trying to get the father's approval, and you know, the 3 is attached to gaining the mother's approval. 4 is a frustration with both. So that's why they kind of, the withdrawing types have from both going on. See? 9, 5, and 4. These are all withdrawing types. The 9 wants to stay connected all the time with them. The 4 has frustration with both of them. They don't seem to ever understand the 4. You know, that's why the 4 feels so different out of space. And 5 has experienced rejection from both. So, you know, this is just some general ideas as to what goes on with attachments or frustration or rejection. There's a lot of information in this Enneagram. It really is. So we only got a few minutes left, so I'm trying to wrap it up pretty quick. Excessive tendencies. 9 is over-accommodating, right? Well, whatever, you know, like they'll say, well, where do you want to go for dinner? I'll say, I don't care, honey, wherever you want to go. You know, I give up, whatever. You know, I'm easy to get along. Do whatever you want. But unfortunately, I lose myself because I don't know what I want. One can be over-judgmental, so, try to curb some of that. Lighten up is a good phrase for one. Lighten up. I used to have a friend who used to tell me that all the time. I'm a 9 with a 1 wing, remember, so I tend to be a little bit judgmental sometimes. I have to lighten up, not be so judgmental. The 2 gets hung up in, helping and giving too much and forgetting to help the self. Realizing that you're as important as everyone else is paramount. You can't give from an empty well. Important thing to remember for 2. 3 gets hung up, obviously, in overachieving, doing more. 4 gets over emotional and moody. 5 gets over intellectual, ruminating and trying to figure out solutions. 6, over loyal and protective, rather than using their own loyalty to themselves and to their own inner authority. 7, over playful, this is too much play type syndrome with the 7, and too much acquisition too, taking too much. Over assertive is number 8, oversteps the boundaries, and as I said, 9 is overcomplicated. Here's the identities for the 9 type. Number 1, moral. I am moral, right, perfect. 2, I am helpful, loving. I am successful, outstanding for 3. Unique and different for 4. I am smart and perceptive for 5. Loyal and dependable for number 6. Joyful and enthusiastic for 7. Strong and powerful for 8. Peaceful and serene. For transformation, these are the things that will help us to integrate ourselves better. The judgmental 1 can learn acceptance. 2 can learn self-nurturing, as I stated before. 3 has a tendency to kind of be deceptive and political, so authenticity is very important to 3. And I think there's some self-nurturing that's important to a 3 too, as well as the 2. Appreciation, 4. Rather than looking at what's missing, starting to become more optimistic and appreciative. Gratitude is a very important thing for 4, so that they don't get hung up in that melancholy. 5 needs to move into action instead of staying up here all the time and trying to figure things out. 6 can gain a little bit more courage, and even though they can feel the fear, they can do it anyway. 7, feeling that feeling of inner contentment, knowing that it's okay, that you have enough already, and feeling full on the inside, trying to feel that fullness. Number 8 needs to trust a little more and take down the walls and surrender. That will help them to become more nurturing and helpful to other people, and not be so self-preoccupied with competing against. The whole world isn't against the 8.